Hare Krishna devotees, I will take another couple of minutes to be ready. Just keep chanting the Mahamantra. I will just join just another couple of minutes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
So, I have great pleasure and gratitude to welcome all of you for this session of Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrita. First, we will chant the Mangalacharanam prayers and then we shall continue with the class.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat pranam Prabhuji.
Pranam Prabhuji. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Swapadandikam Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Once again, my sincere gratitude in welcoming all of you for this next session of Prabhupada's Leelamrita. So today we are going to bring to a close the discussion on a threat to iskcon. So because it is such an important chapter, I have spent considerable amount of time in covering that particular topic. I hope devotees are deriving benefit from this discussion because we have been blessed with, what to say, once in a lifetime opportunity? No, that would be too less to say actually. What kind of opportunity we have been given? We have been given an opportunity once in the lifetime of Brahma to come so close to Supreme Lord Krishna, who personally appeared within 5,000 years, and then 500 years, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give us Madhurya Prem. Krishna came to tell us to surrender to him, that he is the Supreme Lord. There is no one else who deserves our surrender. And by surrendering to Krishna, we will become free from all miseries forever. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach us how to perform that surrender, or in other words, how to go back home, back to Godhead in this very lifetime. And not just go back home, back to Godhead, but even there to get the highest bliss of Madhurya Prem. Because one can reach the spiritual world, but still not be at the platform of Madhurya Prem, at the level of what we say, Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and then Madhurya. Madhurya should not be misunderstood, because Madhurya is basically Prema Bhakti. But within Prema Bhakti, the highest level is Madhurya Bhakti, which is performed by the gopis of Vrindavan. So, Aradhya Bhagavan, Vrajeshatanayam, Tadhava Vrindavanam, Ramya Kachit Upasana, Vrajavatu, Vargenaya Kalpita, Srimad Bhagavatam Pramadam Amalam, Prema Pumarto Mahan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Madhavitam. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach us that Prema is the highest goal for a living being. Highest goal that we can aspire is Prema. And within that Prema, Madhurya comes at the highest. And within that Madhurya, the Prema exhibited by gopis is called Parakya Bhav. Is considered the highest in Madhurya Prem. See, basically what? When it comes to achieving the highest perfection in spiritual life, that means completely surrendering to the Supreme Lord. Giving up my own individual wish, my individual will, surrendering it to the Lord, and then making the Lord's will as the goal of my life. Be all and end all of my life should be what the Lord desires, the will of the Lord. So this was exhibited to the highest perfection by the gopis. Actually, if you recall, few sessions back, we had this discussion that actually gopis do have some desires. This is the amazing quality of the gopis' love. Gopis' love makes you think that they are madly in love with Krishna and they want to enjoy Krishna. This is the feeling that you get when you read Srimad Bhagavatam also, that gopis are so madly in love with Krishna that they cannot live without him. They feel the only happiness of their life is to enjoy with Krishna. So gopis also have desires. Bhaktas also have desires. So this is what we usually think. But actually, Krishna certifies that gopis are at the highest platform of love. And Acharyas clarify to us that gopis, if they try to give pleasure to Krishna, supposing the gopis say, Krishna, the goal of our life is to make you happy, that will not make Krishna happy. Because Krishna also has a mood. Krishna has a mood. And Krishna's mood is to give happiness to his devotees. So this competition is going on between God and devotee, between Krishna and the Krishna Bhaktas. And the height is reached when gopis give up everything which is important in a woman's life, especially a married woman who has got the honor of her own family in which she is born, the honor of the family into which she has been married, her own children, her own husbands, in-laws, and so many people. They may give up everything, wealth and so many things, but to overstep the law, which will compromise the honor of the family, for what? To give pleasure to Krishna. To give pleasure to Krishna. So this is the highest that the gopis reach, that nothing matters to them, only that they want to serve Krishna. And then they don't want Krishna to feel guilty that, oh, gopis are making so much sacrifice only to make me happy. So gopis cover this aspect of their desire. They make Krishna think that they want to enjoy with Krishna. Actually, you will see among all the Vrajavasis this particular quality, but with gopis, it goes to the highest. Even the gopas, for example, when they are playing with Krishna, suddenly they say, Krishna, we are hungry, we want to eat something. Then Krishna sends them to the Brahmana, where they are performing yajna. Another time they say, oh Krishna, we are so hungry, and these tala fruits that are growing in the talvan, it's so tempting. The fruits are fully ripe and the fragrance is tempting us. Krishna, please take us there. And it is guarded by Rakshasas, Dhenukasu. Please arrange for us to enjoy those fruits. So these things, when we read as a neophyte, we will think, oh, see, in Goloka also, the living entities are only trying to enjoy, and Krishna facilitates. So oftentimes you will come to the conclusion that Krishna in Goloka is only fulfilling all the desires of the devotees, but actually it is far from the truth. Neither the Gopas, who I described now, who are so greedy to enjoy various pleasures, and the gopis who run at the middle of the night to enjoy with Krishna, these are not the correct picture. The correct picture is they always want to give happiness to Krishna and they are meditating how I can give pleasure to Krishna. And how to give pleasure to Krishna? The only way to give pleasure to Krishna is to give him an opportunity to serve you. How else Krishna will achieve the highest happiness? So the Gopa boys, they want Krishna to kill Dhenukasur because Krishna every day he's killing some asuras. So they want Krishna to have the pleasure of killing Dhenukasur. So they are still telling Krishna Balram, please help us to enjoy the fruits. Actually, what happens eventually? They go and Krishna Balram, they kill all the asses, all the asuras are in the form of asses. They throw them on the trees and they are killed. So everything becomes polluted. All the trees fall down like a domino, and so many fruits are falling everywhere. But not a single fruit is enjoyed by the Gopas. Their purpose is finished and they leave the place. These fruits, as it is explained by the Acharyas, it was eaten by the forest dwellers who are going there and all that. But it is not that the Gopas enjoyed it. So similarly, we get confused sometimes that actually gopis also have desires. Okay, it's a spiritual desire. They want to enjoy from Krishna. No, that is far from the truth. Is it clear? Does anyone want to say something about this before we proceed with the class?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful message
Hare
for the
Krishna,
day.
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, are you all able to appreciate the special quality, the special mood of Goloka, Vrindavan, or
Yes,
even
Prabhuji.
Vaikuntha?
Yes,
The
Prabhuji.
mood is
Yes,
Yes,
not
Prabhuji, Prabhuji.
as
Yes,
long
Prabhuji.
as the mood to enjoy is there. Whatever body we may have a material body, we may have a more refined, subtle body, or we may even have a spiritual body. That doesn't matter. The point is, there is no selfish tinge. That is when you are in Vaikuntha. So, and that is the mood of Krishna also. Krishna has no selfish tinge. So, how can anyone enjoy into a reciprocal relationship with Krishna? The only way is to develop that mood of Krishna. That I just want to serve. I have no desire to enjoy. Krishna is Atmaram. Same way, a devotee who reaches Goloka becomes Atmaram. They have no desire to enjoy for themselves. They are fulfilled within themselves. So there is absolutely nothing for them to enjoy that. In that mood, amazing reciprocations happen. And that is what we cherish so much when we read it in Srimad Bhagavatam or in other devotional literatures, how Krishna reciprocates and how the devotees reciprocate with Krishna. Yeyatamam prapatyante is understood by us in a very, very limited sense because of our material contamination. But yeyatamam prapatyante can be experienced at the highest level by realizing the mood of Goloka and especially the mood of the gopis. They have absolutely, see, there are so many stories that also explain this, that gopis are willing to give all the dust of their feet to relieve Krishna from a headache, even for a moment, even though that means they have to rot in hell for the rest of eternity. They don't care. They want to give that relief to Krishna. That is what matters to them. So these are extraordinary moods which are seen only in Goloka. And that's why the Devatas, they are amazed to see the mood of these people, how much they love their Lord, and how much the Lord reciprocates with them. So these are things, as of now, thanks to Srila Prabhupada, thanks to the Acharyas, we are given a glimpse into this. At least in our mind, as you all said, oh, it's so nice. At least in an intellectual way, in a logical way, we are able to see that which cannot be described, that which cannot be explained through logic, that which cannot be understood by years of meditation. No, it is realized only through prema. But even though we are not there, by the mercy of the Acharyas, we are able to at least even appreciate that by standing on the shore of this mighty ocean of bhakti. And that is the great gift that Acharyas are giving us. So this rare opportunity that we have received, we should not throw it away. We should not squander it away. And that is the mood of Srila Prabhupada when he came down into this planet and he undertook all the difficult tasks at such an advanced age, only so that we will be able to gain this entry into the spiritual world. So today we will be completing this particular topic, a threat against iskcon. Today is the fifth and final part of this series, this particular chapter, which is so very important to us. Even though I want to do it elaborately, but I think I have done sufficiently. So today I may be going a little fast. Before I proceed, I just want to hear from all of you, from whatever we have discussed, threat against iskcon, I want you to recollect what are the various threats that Srila Prabhupada identified. Rather the symptoms, not the threats. The symptoms of the threat that Srila Prabhupada identified. Quickly, whatever you can recollect, you can please tell.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranams Prabhuji. Once Prabhupada's picture was upside down, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, let us hear from others. That's a very good point. So some devotee who was cleaning Srila Prabhupada's quarters, he kept Prabhupada's pictures, probably he dusted that picture and then kept it absent-mindedly upside down, absent-mindedly. And Prabhupada became very angry. Okay, what next?
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, anyone? Meenakshi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, pranams. Prabhupada was able to observe that his disciples were doing things which indicated to him that he was being sidelined and they were doing it for some other purpose which was not aligned with the iskcon.
Yes. And how you are sidelined? Can you give some example? Anyone?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Yes.
In one of the conversations, Prabhupada was told by a devotee that he had sent a letter to him, which Prabhupada was surprised to hear that was not delivered to him. And when inquired, the devotees, his disciples said
there
that
was some kind of a censorship going on without the knowledge of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji. That's very nice. Yes. Then?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Prabhuji, the disciples were showing interest to discover Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati books, and they were listening from the God brothers of Srila Prabhupada, and they said that Srila Prabhupada was not the only spiritual master, and they had written all these things from India to American disciples. So they had mentioned all these things.
Was coming all the way from India to America, and as a result, the various centers in US and Europe, they were getting polluted. And Prabhupada was seeing the symptoms in terms of negligence, indifference, recklessness, carelessness, disrespect Prabhupada is seeing like. Thank you, Mataji. Then what else you want to say, other devotees? Okay, so broadly we have seen what was going on. In fact, in one San Francisco Rath Yatra, Srila Prabhupada went to climb onto the Rath cart. Prabhupada usually sits on the cart, but this time Prabhupada stopped. They said, no, Prabhupada, it's not very safe for you to climb there. We hear that there are some hooligans, rowdies here, so you better don't get into the car. And Prabhupada insisted, but still they blocked him. So finally, with a lot of reluctance, Prabhupada got into a car and he was not allowed to sit on the chariot. Whereas his other devotees, other disciples were actually sitting on the car and traveling with the car. So Prabhupada saw that he was being sidelined and someone was trying to take control from him. So like this, so many incidents happened and Prabhupada was very unhappy. So that was the threat against iskcon. The symptoms we have discussed, and the reason was the entry of Mayavad into the movement. Because of the few devotees who were in India, probably they were missing the association of Srila Prabhupada. So they went to Gaudiya Math Sannyasis. Prabhupada had specifically warned them not to go there, but still they went and they injected poison into them. And they wrote letters to the centers in America. Through that, this poison spread to America also. As Mataji was saying, the poison was that they said, Srila Prabhupada is not the only spiritual master. There are any number of spiritual masters in Gaudiya Math, and actually he should not be called Prabhupada. We should simply call him Swami Maharaja. There is only one Prabhupada, that is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and your Guru has not taught you many things. Rather, he has given you very inferior kind of knowledge. Much more superior kind of knowledge we'll be able to give you. Like, for example, Siddhadeha or the Rupanuga, Raganuga Bhakti. These things you have not been given. We will teach you all these things. So like that, this poison was injected, and this poison is Mayavad, as Prabhupada explains subsequently. Now let us enter into this thing. So quickly, I will go through these things. We have already seen it. Nandarani.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, was it in connection to this that Prabhupada had commented that how will you follow Raganuga Bhakti, walking and enjoying in material life, something and all he had quoted, na Prabhuji? Was it in relation to this?
Not at that particular time, but yes, Raganuga Bhakti, because the concept was brought from India. So Prabhupada clarified that Vaidhi Bhakti will automatically mature into Raganuga Bhakti. And as long as you have material desires in your heart, which are very strong, you will not be able to do Raganuga Bhakti properly. And that's why Srila Prabhupada said, whatever is necessary for you, I have given. This is sufficient for you to go back home, back to Godhead in this one lifetime. So the necessary qualification for Raganuga Bhakti, you will get if you sincerely follow my instructions. The Vaidhi Bhakti, what I have taught you, if you sincerely practice, you will automatically gain the association of such Raganuga Bhaktas, and you will be able to practice it also. So this is what Prabhupada said. So for those people who are very eager to do Raganuga Bhakti, there have been cases of severe fall downs. They left iskcon altogether because they were not qualified, but they assumed that they had the qualification. So that is the caveat here, that even though Raganuga Bhakti is so very attractive, but one needs to have the necessary qualification. So like that. So these are some of the examples, some of the symptoms. Nandarani, one devotee in Boston, she was telling that I am not chanting 16 rounds. The reason was temple management was not insisting on that. Rather, they said service is more important. Whatever time is left, you can do your 16 rounds or less than that, doesn't matter. So for all of us also, this is a lesson. Prabhupada very strongly chastised, and he said 16 rounds cannot be compromised. Everyone should complete the 16 rounds of attentive chanting every day. Then he asked about Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Nobody could recollect. So Prabhupada said, you are not reading my books. If you are not reading my books, how you will get purified? Again, this is a message for all of us. Unless we read Prabhupada's books, unless we hear Prabhupada's lectures, how we will get purified? And without purification, where is the question of going back home, or even how we preach? Unless we have the purification, we cannot preach. And purification comes from reading Prabhupada's books and then trying to practice them in our life. This is the basic. Reading, trying to understand, realize, practice, and then we preach. So this is very much necessary. And okay, these things we already discussed. So what was happening in Prabhupada's view? Mayavad was being injected. How Mayavad is injected? By minimizing the position of the spiritual master. Spiritual master is an individual. Krishna is an individual. All of us souls, we are also individuals. This is forever. Similarly, Krishna Prema is also an eternal seed, and it service to Krishna. It manifests in the form of service to Krishna. So, Jivera Swarupohi Krishna Nityadas is an eternal situation. Every soul is meant to serve Krishna eternally in the mood of a servant. But a soul cannot enter into a direct relationship with Krishna. So Krishna has created this Guru Tattva, and Guru represents that Tattva. The spiritual master represents the Tattva, and spiritual master is the only bridge between Krishna and the devotee. Only through this bridge, Krishna can be approached. This is Krishna's arrangement. Tad vidhi pranipatena. You have to come through a devotee only, through a pure devotee only, in the form of a spiritual master. Without that, if you try to approach directly Krishna, utpadayeva kalpate, you will only create more problems for yourself. You have to follow the scripture. How do you follow scripture? By following the spiritual master. That spiritual master is the representative of Krishna, and you must treat him on an equal footing with Krishna, even though he is not Krishna. The moment you say spiritual master is Krishna, then you introduce Mayavad. So that is the warning Srila Prabhupada. When Prabhupada noticed that this was happening, that spiritual master's position was being minimized, that eternal position of a spiritual master was being minimized. Now that once you have a spiritual master, he is your spiritual master for eternity. Whether you take many births in this material world, or you go to even some higher planetary systems, and eventually you go to Goloka, still your spiritual master is always with you, and his position is always superior. And you are his servant, he is your master. In the spiritual world, spiritual master may have a different identity. You may have a different identity, but still you will be serving the spiritual master to serve Radha Krishna. This is the arrangement. So if we minimize the position of spiritual master, the spiritual life of the devotee concerned is finished. That's all. It's a full stop there. So that is why Prabhupada is taking these trends very seriously. So Prabhupada knew the devotees were actually ignorant, but not malicious. But malice was being introduced from India. So Prabhupada wanted to nip it in the bud. So Prabhupada was reacting very strongly, very angrily to every deviation, so that the devotees will be able to understand that Yasya Prasada, Bhagavad Prasada. What we are doing is not pleasing to our spiritual master, and if he is not pleased, our spiritual life is finished. Nagadi kutopi. If Guru is displeased, then you have no hope whatsoever. Nagadi kutopi. So that message Prabhupada was giving them.
Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you said that spiritual master, even in Goloka, the spiritual world, we serve the spiritual master to serve Radha and Krishna. Could you explain that a little bit, Prabhuji? Like, so there also, will we be serving in groups?
I will not go into details. Maybe this is not the right place because you have a lack of time.
But I understood this correctly, right, Prabhuji?
Maybe in classes we will discuss it, because if I even give a little explanation, that may again mislead you into wrong conclusions. So I will not enter into this. Let us only remember that what Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma Vandamoi Savadana Mate Yahara Prasade Bai Yebavatoriyo Yai Krishna Prapti Hoya Hoite Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitate Kariya Aikya Arana Kariha Mane Asha Shri Guru Charane Rati ऐसे उत्तम गति ये प्रसादे पूरे सर्व आशा चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित Prema bhakti yaha hoite avidya vinashayate vedega yaha racha. So this is how we sing to the spiritual master. He has opened our eyes forever. He has opened the eyes of wisdom, spiritual wisdom. So he is our master, life after life after life. We should not assume that this is only as long as we are in the material world. Once we go to the spiritual world, no longer Guru Sishya. No, this is a completely wrong understanding. Forever, forever. When you take your ultimate birth in the spiritual world, still the spiritual master will be guiding you, helping you, assisting you. Rather, you will be assisting him in serving Radha Krishna. So that in what form, how it will happen, we don't know. What is our spiritual identity? We don't know. What is the spiritual identity of spiritual master? We do not know. But we believe that this is what the situation, and it will be revealed to us at the appropriate time. So we will not go into more details. Maybe when the time comes in some other class, we will discuss that. Even I don't know much, honestly. Let me not pose as though I know all this. So my knowledge is also very limited. But one has to be very, very careful that we don't carry wrong knowledge. Not having knowledge is all right, but having wrong knowledge is extremely dangerous. So that's why I'm questioning you.
One more question I have, Prabhuji. Like, if we have done something to displease the spiritual master by mistake, Prabhuji,
yes,
how do we know, Prabhuji, at this time, like for uninitiated devotees, non-initiated devotees, do we have a chance of getting to know that we have done something to hurt the spiritual master? Is it possible, Prabhuji?
Actually, the answer is that we should remain in spiritual consciousness always. We should always be in the association of devotees. We should always be hearing. We should be chanting as attentively as we can. We should follow the morning program. There is no way to avoid offenses. Unwitting offenses committed by a neophyte devotee, the spiritual master, in fact, spiritual master never takes offense, but Krishna takes offense when we commit offense to a Vaishnava, especially to the spiritual master. Krishna takes offense, not that the spiritual master takes. But then ultimately, all are persons. So that is our hope. Krishna, when he sees that unintentionally we have done it because of the anarthas, then Krishna will give us one more chance, one more chance. Okay, because Krishna and spiritual master are in alignment. Spiritual master is only a transparent via medium of the Supreme Lord. So in that sense, everything happens in proper alignment, in complete harmony. So deliberately, we should not do anything that minimizes the spiritual master, causes offenses to him. So to do that, or to rather not to do that, we have to be extremely careful to understand the philosophy, read the books carefully, scrutinizingly, remain in the association of devotees, and live very carefully. And every day we can pray to the Lord, oh Lord, please help me to avoid offenses. Please help me to know the deficiencies within my heart. After all, how does offense arise? We say offensive mentality. Only when I have an offensive mentality, offenses arise. Other than that, say for example, if you are walking in a crowded temple, you happen to step on another devotee's body. You feel sorry, you want to say sorry to him, but you don't even locate him. He has moved on. So, oh my God, I have committed a serious sin. That kind of fear we need not have. You go in a yatra, a lot of devotees are moving, but you are trying to push the devotees and go ahead, that is an offense. But unwittingly, something you happen to brush the dress or the body of a devotee with your foot, unconsciously, you don't do that. Then you become little more vigilant, So that way, there are petty offenses, unconscious offenses, but there are conscious offenses. So conscious offenses are much more serious. As a neophyte, we may be forgiven, but as we progress, then naturally we have to be much more vigilant. We should not think I am a devotee, so no offenses. It's not like that. We should always be careful not to commit offense even to a newcomer. You may be a senior, but you should not commit offense to even to a newcomer. So this is the standard that Krishna has set for us. Okay, Mataji.
Thank
so
you,
that,
yes, Prabhuji. Thank you,
it should not disturb you so much that you give up your spiritual life. Oh my God, I might have committed some offense. So don't make sure that your thinking doesn't make you despondent, hopeless,
yes,
so much that you will give up your spiritual life. Spiritual life itself, you lose taste like that. That should not happen. Rather, stay in the association of devotees and keep on talking to them on these subject matters. What is it, Matahati offense? You keep talking about that, you will be always protected. As long as our intentions are good, we want to simply go back home, back to God and serve Lord without any motivation, then the Lord will guide us from within. You know.
Yes,
So,
Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
thank you. So Prabhupada is trying to protect iskcon. Why? Because iskcon is the movement for the next 10,000 years. If anything happens to iskcon, the people of this Kali Yuga will be left with nothing. They will become literally hopeless. Their spiritual life will be finished. So Prabhupada is defending iskcon for the next 10,000 years. So if somebody does any mistake, Prabhupada doesn't tolerate that. He immediately pounces on them and tries to correct it. So this is what we'll be seeing. Already we have seen last week how Prabhupada created GBC, Prabhupada created BBT, and Prabhupada gave sannyas to a few people. All these are measures to set right the poison that has already entered. So GBC will take care of administration even in the absence of Prabhupada. During Prabhupada's lifetime, they will take some guidance from Prabhupada, but he doesn't want GBC to come to him every day with some problems. No. You will learn from me and then you will do independently. That's what Prabhupada told GBC. So BBT ensures that Prabhupada's books will continue to be printed, published. There will be no lack of finance for printing and distribution. So this is for BBT. And sannyas is for devotees to purify themselves. The sannyasis get purified themselves by depending on Krishna. And because they travel widely around the world, they will give knowledge to the seeking devotees of iskcon. So these are the arrangements that Prabhupada is making. And so Prabhupada wrote a letter to Satsrupa and Uddhava in Boston, where he said, diplomacy and disrespectfulness has entered into our iskcon movement. Politics has entered into iskcon movement. So I am very concerned with that. We are supposed to work without any private motives. This is a movement which is for the welfare of the whole world. We should not have individual goals, our own priorities for name and fame or wealth and all that. So Prabhupada told them, this has happened. Even some of my beloved students have been affected by Maya. So Prabhupada says, I want to retire. Prabhupada says, I want to retire. So how shocking. But after retiring, what Prabhupada will do? He will not go back to Radha Damodar temple and start bhajan. No. He wants to dedicate his time fully to book writing and nothing else. Book writing is always priority for Prabhupada. So now Prabhupada is using this excuse that I will no longer be involved in administration. GBC should handle that. And I am going to dedicate myself to book writing. So like that Prabhupada writes. And also Prabhupada says, now we have created some sannyasis and I want to teach them what is a sannyasi life. So I am personally going to India via Japan. I am carrying some sannyasi students with me. They will learn by watching me, even though my health is not very good. But in order to teach them, I am doing this and they will go with me and learn the responsibility of sannyas. And Prabhupada says, this is something all of you please take note. You can read from the screen also. Third bullet. I am fervently appealing to you. This is to you and I. Prabhupada is speaking to us. Prabhupada lives in sound, in the form of his books, in the form of his lectures. So we should realize that this is for us. We should not think it was spoken at some time, someplace for somebody else. Then if you think like that, you will gain nothing. So we are reading Prabhupada Leelamrit while appreciating with gratitude the sacrifices of Prabhupada and his disciples. Same time, we should try to extract lessons for our own spiritual life. So let us read it as though Prabhupada is speaking to us. I am fervently appealing to you all not to create fracture in the solid body of the society. Don't create fracture. Whether if you cannot even strengthen the body, doesn't matter, but at least don't create fractures. Fracture means creating groups. Yes, that is a fracture. Two groups, they don't adhere together, so that creates a friction. That creates a fracture in the solid body of iskcon. The moment I create groupism, either I become the leader of the group or I become the follower of a group. But the group's intention is to stay with a separate identity from the rest of iskcon. That will weaken the society. So please work conjointly without any personal ambition. This will help the cause of iskcon, which is to serve the whole world. So Prabhupada says, always work jointly. If you have personal ambition, please understand, you cannot work jointly. If you have personal ambition, you will only try to exploit others. You may act as though you are working jointly, but your aim is individual ambition. So Prabhupada says, have no personal ambition and then work conjointly. This is a message for all of us. So in the end, you can talk about it. Please, I hope you are all taking some notes, because these things we may not be able to repeat. So many important points are coming. So please take note and please revise so that you will derive the best benefits out of all these discussions. So Prabhupada compared, this is another advice of Prabhupada, please note. The regulative principles of a battlefield is that you should abide by the order of the commander. Imagine in a battlefield, the soldiers, then there are different ranks. Every soldier reports to somebody, that somebody reports to somebody. There's a total hierarchy. And each person has to listen and obey fully the instructions of his senior, of the leader. Imagine if they don't do that, what will happen in the war? There will be mayhem. Everybody will be killed. Everybody's life depends on everybody else. So Prabhupada says, we are on a war with Maya. So you follow the instructions of the commander, to whom you are reporting, whoever you may be. You may be an ordinary devotee in the temple. You may be heading a department in the temple. You may be a president of a temple. You may be having other responsibilities of various departments, whatever it is. But in all situations, you must follow a leader. Otherwise, we cannot be successful. So Prabhupada is saying this. This also please note down. The leadership should be respected. In a temple, for example, the temple president, for all the departmental heads, then for people who are working in various departments, they should listen to the orders of the departmental heads. Like that, even as a Grihastha devotee, I may be connected to some senior devotee in the temple, in the congregation, then I should listen to them. If I have problems, then I should talk to other seniors. But as long as the senior is trying to implement the orders of Srila Prabhupada only, then I should follow. Say, for example, suddenly one senior says, stop your chanting. Some service is more important. Then you can go and ask the temple president. My department head is saying, don't chant. Okay, so if there is some serious deviation, then no. But other than that, supposing they say, please come early, please stay till the end, do this particular service, do this extra service, all these things we should take it with gratitude. That as a representative of my guru, this department head is instructing me, let me do that with gratitude. So that mood should be imbibed. And okay, so this has been already discussed earlier. This was also we have discussed. Prabhupada went to Hawaii. Now Prabhupada is leaving Los Angeles on the way to Japan, and first he goes to Hawaii. And before that also, Prabhupada spoke to the devotees in the temple, and then he spoke to them. Don't think we have received a setback. We are not going backward. Actually, we are moving forward. I am taking care of all the problems. I will make everything clear to you at the appropriate time. But don't worry, we are actually, whatever is happening is for the future strength of iskcon. Like that, Prabhupada gave reassurance to them before he left for India via Japan. While going, Prabhupada first went to Hawaii. And in Hawaii, Gaurasundara and Govindadasi came to meet him. They are in charge of the temple. And they wanted to install Radha Krishna deities. And Govindadasi asked Prabhupada, please stay and install the deities. Then Prabhupada looked at Gaurasundara, her husband, and asked him, shall I stay? Then what Gaurasundara said was, let me consult. Next day, Gaurasundara did not say anything to Srila Prabhupada. So that day only Prabhupada left. Otherwise, Prabhupada was willing to stay even for a few days more if the temple would be inaugurated, if the deities would be installed. But Gaurasundara did not give a proper response. So Prabhupada left. And from Japan, Prabhupada wrote a letter to Govindadasi saying, I was willing to stay as you requested, even for a few more days to install the deities. But your husband did not respond to me properly. First of all, he said, I will consult. Whom he will consult, he never named. I am the spiritual master, so whom should he consult? And next day also, he did not come and tell me the result of that consultation. So this is because of mischievous propaganda, which is minimizing the importance of spiritual master. Unfavorable situation is being created. So Prabhupada finally says, I hope all of you combine together to do the needful. Fissiparous tendencies, separatist tendencies are arising within the movement. And Prabhupada is saying, please work together and do the needful. Okay. So again and again, this is the message. Okay, then Janmashtami came. Prabhupada was in Tokyo celebrating Janmashtami, and there were a large group of devotees celebrating Janmashtami in New Vrindavan also, same time. And Prabhupada is observing Janmashtami there by reading Krishna book. His disciples are reading Krishna book right from morning. Everybody is in full fast. Nobody takes even a morsel till midnight. And from the early morning, they are reading Krishna book. And at 9 o'clock, Prabhupada asked, do you think you'll be able to finish the book before 12? The devotees say, no, Prabhupada, it's not possible. Then Prabhupada said, okay, you close that book. I will read directly the shlokas from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto. You just hear. You will not understand, but doesn't matter. These are spiritual sound vibrations. Just by hearing, your soul will understand and you will make spiritual progress, because this is a perfect scripture, and by just hearing, you will get the benefit. So Prabhupada took the 10th canto and he read the shlokas continuously. And by 12 o'clock, it was finished. And then they all took prasadam. In the meantime, in New Vrindavan, there was a complete pandemonium, because some newly initiated sannyasis, 4 sannyasis, they went to this place, New Vrindavan. And New Vrindavan, they had made all arrangements for having a nice Gaura Purnima, Janmashtami celebrations. But then these 4 sannyasis, they started teaching a strange philosophy. They started saying, we have all committed offenses to Prabhupada. So Prabhupada has rejected us. He has disowned us. He is very unsatisfied and unhappy with us. So he has left America to India. He will never come back. We have lost him. It is our fault also. Sannyasis were blaming themselves also. We are all guilty. What is that guilt? They said, we now realize that Prabhupada is none other than Lord Krishna. Prabhupada is Krishna only. But we never appreciated that. We never respected him like that, because he is Krishna only. We thought he is only a spiritual master. These sannyasis are talking like that. But he is actually Krishna. Because of that, he has rejected us. Like that, these sannyasis are teaching. And all the people assembled there, they were completely devastated by hearing this, because they are sannyasis, very senior people of iskcon, and they are talking like that, even though they had never heard Prabhupada talk like this. But because sannyasis are saying, they did not know how to object to this. They could not say, no, you are wrong. This cannot be true, because Prabhupada has spoken to us differently in his books. We have read the books. All the books, never it is declared that spiritual master is Krishna. Like that, nobody could say, even though heart of heart, they had doubts. This was because Prabhupada later on said, you are not reading my books scrutinizingly. If you had read my books, at that time, Prabhupada's Bhagavatam first canto was available, Krishna book was available, Nectar of Devotion was available, and there were many other small books also were available, plus Back to Godhead, etc. If only devotees had read scrutinizingly the books, and Lord Chaitanya's teachings, that was also available. If they had only read those books, they could have easily overcome this false propaganda of the sannyasis. But because they could not object with solid scripture-based arguments, so this was accepted. So everybody was in a morose mood, and they said, we must cry, we must cry, we must feel guilty. There is no easy way out of this. Like that they were preaching. This news went to Prabhupada. One brahmachari devotee in New Vrindavan, they called Japan. And this message went to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, see, this is why I did not go there. I knew something like this was going to happen. Then Prabhupada wrote a letter back That letter we'll see a little later. In the meantime, in Japan, Prabhupada is staying there for discussing with Dai Nippon printing press. They have already relationship with this press. They have already printed Krishna book for iskcon. They have printed some other books also. Back to Guarded magazines, they're regularly printing some 20,000-30,000 copies. Now Prabhupada wanted them to print the second volume of Krishna book also and reprint of the first volume and some more orders. So for negotiation, they went to Dai Nippon. They respected Prabhupada like anything. All the senior executives of Dai Nippon, they came, they bowed deeply to Srila Prabhupada and they honored him as a spiritual master of the whole world. They respected the books that he was publishing and they expressed a desire to associate with all the activities of Srila Prabhupada. So at that time, the day following Janmashtami, what is the festival? Anyone knows?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Prabhupada's birthday, Prabhuji. Appearance day.
Yeah. So that is Nandotsav come Prabhupada's appearance day. Krishna, because he is born at midnight, Nanda Maharaj comes to know only next morning. So next morning, he celebrates the birth of Krishna, and that is called Nandotsav. He gives a lot of charity and all that, and there is a big feast. That's why Janmashtami day we fast till midnight. But Nandotsav day we feast. And Srila Prabhupada is so merciful. He did not take birth on a fasting day. He appeared on a feasting day. So on the Nandotsav day, we make nice offerings to Srila Prabhupada, and then we have an excellent feast. One day of serious fasting, and next day for Srila Prabhupada's Vyas Puja, we have an excellent feast. So this Vyas Puja came when these devotees were in Japan. A few devotees, including sannyas devotees, they are there with Prabhupada in Japan. And they did not know how to perform Vyas Puja. They were completely confused. They sang Guru Ashtakam. After that, they did not know what to do. Prabhupada became angry. Don't you know how to perform Vyas Puja? Don't you have even Pushpa Yatra? Pushpa Yatra means Pushpanjali to the Guru Maharaj. You know, you do Arati, then you offer Pushpa, right? Wash his lotus feet, all these things. Prabhupada saying, Pushpa Yatra. Don't you know this? How to honor your Guru? No one knew. One sannyasi even started crying that Prabhupada is angry with us. When spiritual master is angry, our spiritual life is finished. So this sannyasi even started crying. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj, who was also present, he misunderstood this Pushpa Yatra. He thought Prabhupada wants Pushpanna. So he rushed to the kitchen and he started preparing Pushpanna. In the meantime, the devotees were still trying to continue the Vyas Puja. So Kirtanananda Swami, he picked up the Krishna book. At the back of the Krishna book, there is a short biography of Srila Prabhupada. He started reading that. And Prabhupada became very, very angry that you are all concocting, you are acting improperly, you are supposed to follow the parampara system. Vyas Puja means you should celebrate following the parampara system. Then Prabhupada finally said, this is to all of us. This is to all of us. What is that? If you don't know, then why don't you ask me? That's all. It's not that Prabhupada is unreasonably angry. Prabhupada is angry because no one is asking him. Guru Maharaj, we don't know what is Vyas Puja. Please teach us how to perform Vyas Puja. Simple. If you don't ask, what you will do? You will concoct and you will act improperly. You will use your own mental speculation. All that will destroy spiritual life. So when you are in doubt, you should give up all shyness. Even if you are a 20-year-old devotee, doesn't matter. You ask your doubts, get it clarified. And you ask from seniors or you go to the books of Prabhupada and get clarification. Is the message clear? That we should never concoct. We should never mentally speculate. When I have a doubt, I should ask and get clarified from the right source. You cannot ask all and sundry, of course. You should ask the right source. The right source is the books of Srila Prabhupada. And that's where you should go. You should go to Veda base and then seek answers to your questions. And then you can cross-check with other senior Vaishnavas. We should be responsible in spiritual life. Unfortunately, in many religions and many cults, what they do, the leader takes responsibility for all the followers. And the followers are bindas. They have nothing to do. The leader says, give me money, then they will give money. Whatever. And they give up all responsibility for their own spiritual life. This man will take care. This is a shortcut method. It will never work. Ultimately, we should be responsible. We can ask questions. Tadvidhi pranipadena. We can ask questions, but then it is our responsibility to digest and implement in our life. We can ask any number of times the same question, but we must understand and we must implement. So Srila Prabhupada then told them, you come to my room. I will teach you how to perform Vyas Puja. Then Prabhupada taught. And Prabhupada said, we will have one more Vyas Puja tomorrow. How kind of Prabhupada. So next day they had a simple Vyas Puja ceremony for Srila Prabhupada. At the end of it, all the devotees were blissful. So Satsvarup Maharaj writes, if we only follow the Guru's instructions, and if we please the Guru Maharaj, then our life is blissful. But if we don't do that, then our life becomes miserable. How to please Guru Maharaj? Simply by following his instructions, understanding and following the instructions. So in the meantime, the New Vrindavan problem became serious, and New Vrindavan devotees went to GBC. See, they don't have to go to Prabhupada now. They can go to GBC. And GBC said, all right, we will go through Prabhupada's books and we will give the clarification. And eventually, they went through Prabhupada's books. They came across the correct clarification in Nectar of Devotion. And they said, no, these sannyasis are wrong. Guru Maharaj should be respected like Krishna, but he is not Krishna. Krishna is eternal, spiritual master is eternal, all of us are eternal souls, and our relationship of master-servant is also eternal. These sannyasis are misleading us. What they are saying is wrong. In the meantime, one letter also came from Prabhupada, from Tokyo to this New Vrindavan. There Prabhupada wrote, my dear sons and daughters of United States of America, please accept my blessings. So this alone clarified many things, because they said, Guru has rejected us. But here he is saying, you are my sons and daughters. And he's also blessing them. He's not cursing them. So everybody heaved a sigh of relief that, oh, Prabhupada is not angry with us. He has not rejected us. Then Prabhupada divulged his future plans. He said, I am returning to your place. I will come back to you. I will meet all of you. And also, I will take some of you to India, train them, and I will send you all over the world for preaching activities. Like that, Prabhupada clarified. He gave more plans for the future development of iskcon. And everybody became enlivened by hearing this. And so, this confusion, this darkness that had descended on New Vrindavan, it lifted. And then Prabhupada wrote, this New Vrindavan, a non-Vrindavan thought process has entered. You kick it out. A non-Vrindavan thought process. What is the thought process? Guru Maharaj is rejected. Guru is Krishna. All these things. This is a non-Vrindavan mood. Vrindavan mood is always in bliss. Vrindavan mood is always reciprocation of love. So you reject that. So ultimately, this problem was solved. Then Prabhupada asked the GBC, what happened to the sannyasis? So the GBC replied, the sannyasis have still not fully accepted their mistake. They still hold the old view. Then Prabhupada asked the GBC, what should we do with them? How should we deal with them? And the GBC, after a discussion, they came back and said, they should be sent out of iskcon. Anyone who is not following the philosophy of iskcon has to leave. Prabhupada agreed, yes, let them go. If they want to preach a deviant philosophy, they have to leave iskcon. When they regret, when they want to come back and say, we have realized our mistake, we will not do the mistake again, then we will accept them. Otherwise, let them go out. So like that, this problem was solved. So this is what Prabhupada wrote. Purge out of New Vrindavan, the non-Vrindavan atmosphere that has entered. And so ultimately, everybody was satisfied. But even then, the poison had been injected, right? Everybody had been so much confused on the Janmashtami day, and Satsvarup Maharaj writes, it will take some time. Hearts have been polluted by the way the sannyasis spoke and the way the letters came from India also. So much confusion. So some damage has been done. It will take more time. But somehow, by the letter of Srila Prabhupada, most of this damage has been undone on that very day itself. So this is the discussion that was going on. So many senior sannyasis and many senior devotees spoke that Srila Prabhupada had not rejected us. He is too kind. People spoke from their experience with Prabhupada. How many times Prabhupada has tolerated mistakes of devotees? He never rejected any devotee. So these sannyasis, what they are speaking is wrong. They have not understood Prabhupada properly. And these people were feeling guilty for some mistakes they have done. And they are projecting that guilt on others. So that way this problem was resolved. And Srila Prabhupada, after hearing about the behavior of these sannyasis, he got it confirmed. His doubts were confirmed. What is it? The poison was coming from India. And because of that, it has influenced everybody. And because of that, material desires entered. See, the moment you allow Mayavad, then material desires will come. Desire for power and control will come. So ultimately, so the offenders were told, you can leave until you regret and change yourself. You cannot stay in iskcon. Okay, so the same matter Prabhupada wrote to Germany temple, to Hamsaduta. He wrote, Pandavas, Lord Krishna, the is the other one? Prahlad Maharaj, Pandavas and Krishna, they were all administered poison, but it did not act. We are in the same parampara system. Somebody tried to inject poison into iskcon also, but it will not work. As long as my students are as good as Prahlad Maharaj, this poison will not act. And Prabhupada wrote, I have empowered GBC. So GBC will protect you. Just as Prabhupada is protecting, GBC will protect you in the future against any poison that may enter. And Srila Prabhupada wrote that I am always against impersonalism. My oral instructions as well as my books are at your service. So this is Guru Vani. Guru Vani. So Prabhupada is telling GBC, my Vani is always available with you, even if I die. So the 4 sannyasis may bark, but the caravan will pass. Caravan means iskcon. Iskcon will continue, even though the sannyasis may teach some Mayavad philosophy. But no problem. iskcon will remain strong. And he wrote to Satsrup Maharaj, I am never displeased with any member of iskcon. See how hope-giving. As long as we remain in iskcon means in our consciousness. In our consciousness, we should accept, absorb the mood of iskcon. Then we are members. Then Prabhupada is never displeased with us. So the disease that came from India had taken its toll. These 4 sannyasis had become polluted. That was unfortunate, but devotees were now being forced. This I have put it in bold letters. This is for all of us. Devotees were now being forced to turn to Srila Prabhupada's books and apply the teachings. This is the answer to all of us. To how protect ourselves by turning to Prabhupada's books and applying the teachings. That was the positive outcome of this threat to iskcon. Now they should clearly understand the position of spiritual master. What is the position of spiritual master? Would anyone like to say?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Representative of Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes. He is the representative of Krishna, so he must be respected on an equal footing with Krishna. But we should not conflate him as Krishna. Guru is not Krishna. Krishna is eternally the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Guru is eternally the spiritual master for us. And by serving spiritual master, we will attain Krishna. We can never sideline the spiritual master and approach Krishna directly. At the same time, we should never say, my Guru is Krishna. Yes, so this is the philosophy. We should clearly understand. And we should not be misled by false philosophies and sentiment. Sometimes you may hear your own God brothers and sisters telling you, see, our spiritual master is actually Krishna. Or they may say, he's Balram. Or they may say, he's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Don't fall for all these things. And if possible, you correct them. That this is Mayavad. Calling spiritual master as God is actually Mayavad. So we should be very careful. As the representative of Krishna, he deserves the same respect that we give to Krishna. But to make him Krishna is an offense to Guru as well as to Krishna. What is the time now? I'm sorry, I'm not having the watch.
7:38, Prabhuji.
Oh, Krishna, I will close it here and we will continue whatever is left in the next session. So the thread to iskcon we have finished now. There will be no more discussion of that. Tomorrow, next week, we will continue discussing about what happened in Tokyo, and eventually Srila Prabhupada goes to India. Thank you very much for your patience and enthusiasm. I look forward to seeing you all in the next class. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namo. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, Prabhuji, this class will be every Wednesday 11 to 12, is it? And then evening 6:30 to 7:30 again.
No. Every Wednesday, I have a Tamil session. Like today, I have a Tamil session, right?
Yeah, at 11 to 12.
Yeah, 11 to 12, Prabhupada Leelamar. Same session in English I am doing now in the evening.
Okay, at 6:30 to 7:30.
Yeah, 6:30.
Every day, every Wednesday.
Yeah.
I've missed so many Prabhupada Leelamrita from you, Prabhuji. That's why I didn't know the timing. That's why I missed. So I have to listen. That's why I'm asking.
But no problem, Mataji. This is available in the YouTube.
Okay.
All the classes are available on
You
YouTube.
have taken so many classes from when it started, Prabhuji. How many classes went like this? I've done only 2 classes of yours on Prabhupada Leelamrita.
Maybe about, I think, 6-7 months, unless
6-7 months. Many classes would have gone. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Because
what should I put? What should I search for? Like Prabhupada Leelamrita by
Prabhupada Leelamrita. Yeah, Prabhupada
Prabhuji
Leelamrita.
Kalanidhi, that like that.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada. We'll meet again.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Panjang